My business venture started out when I was about 3 months into being a fetus. One day when I was 6 years old, my neighbor was running a lemonade stand on the same day that I was. That was my first lesson in dominating the real estate market. I burned her stand down.
I'm sure you're wondering how I made my fortune. Believe it or not, I started with a brick and mortar shop selling nothing but stamps. You may not know this, but selling stamps is not illegal. You can just do that. After that, I moved into real estate. Like most people, you do a lot of real estate. I didn't know what I was doing, but I saw the numbers going up, and that worked for me. Since I made my first $1 million, I figured it's time to settle down in more real estate, which I did. I doubled down, I all-in'd, and after that, the market crashed. But I blamed it on somebody else. You can do that when you start losing money. That way your shareholders don't leave. Instead, I found new shareholders to sell off the old shareholders. It's not illegal if you don't get caught.
My father was an alpha male, all right? He didn't beat me. He actually picked me up like a stick and beat people with me. I love my father. I can't remember a single great memory I have with him, but I respect the man. When I was 11 years old, I started my first venture with one of my best friends, and I said, listen, buddy, if we're gonna do this, if we're gonna make this money, I don't know how we're gonna do it, but we're just gonna get into business, and we're gonna talk, eat, sleep, breathe, pee, and poop business for the rest of our lives. And he was like, yeah, I'm with you, man. One day my friend showed up and said, I can't work today. And I told him, I'm sorry, that's it. You're just not gonna make it in life. Friends are gonna hold you back ultimately.
I never gave up, no matter how dark I or the market got. All the fortune that I ever made in my entire life was now worth more than the entire country of Guam. So I bought Guam. As it turns out, once you own a country, you can make the laws.
You're not working in the real estate market until you have approximately 42,069 different properties signed under your name. Cash is meaningless. You cannot go through this world with cash. You have to have real estate. My diet actually consists of 100% pure protein. I've actually brought some here for you today. This right here, it's actually pure protein. What I do is I'll actually consume about half of this bag a day.
Are you sure that's protein?
It's
sir?
absolutely protein. I don't always consume it through my nose, sometimes other orifices. I'm sorry, could you hang on a second? Oh God. Oh, that's so good. What's most important is that you really can't sleep. Everybody complains about not getting any sleep. That should be a blessing. You need to work 180 hours a week. A lot of people ask, when does it come a time to start enjoying the money that you've made? Well, it becomes a cycle where you enjoy making money so much that the joy of having money comes from making the money.
Buying a sports team is far more simple than you think. You just walk up with a briefcase full of cash, slam it down on the table like an ignorant ape would, and then open that briefcase.
Mug someone. Honestly, if they allow you to mug them, they're weak.
I drive a Mercedes, made by Ford. That doesn't make sense. It doesn't have to. I'm rich. First I wrote this book called Rags to Riches. Funny enough, I actually was poor when I wrote it, except was writing as though I was rich. That's part of the deal. You need to pretend that you're rich to be rich.
I don't have time for this. Why am I even here getting interviewed? I'm not making money right now, am I?
I wrote that book, Rags to Riches, sold it to poor people, and became rich myself.
Do you understand the money that I make for an appearance? Do you know that my appearance fee is about $100,000 every time I show up at a state college?
I have a terrible, crippling addiction to gambling. I've gambled over $100 million in a single calendar year.
There's no excuses in this world, there's only results. If you're mad because I'm more successful than you, maybe you should consider turning up a little bit. All of my business is work weeks and clap cheeks.
Did you know that $100 is just outside the realm of human comprehension? Throw a couple of zeros on that puppy and people think you're smart.
I was making $200,000 by the time I was 16, all right? By the time I was 15, I was making $472,000. I sold my wife.
Make up a lot of big words. Flarfentubin. That could be a thing. I don't know. My accountant doesn't either.